Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm going to finish up a couple of to-dos on dub sharp, and then we're going to, I think, finally be at the point. Actually, I didn't commit what I did before, so I have no idea why. Oh, moved tests around and created tests for engine methods. Okay. Get those in. And come on. There you go. Okay. So what I want to do now is let's address these. We're going to do the rot13 one first because I'm not going to do it here. Okay, because I don't know what this does. Okay. So I'm actually going to put it in the playground. Let's copy this, do that, and we'll call it rot13. Okay. Come back over here, copy. No. And let's paste it. Okay. Read minus, that has to be a string because a read does a string return. So I would imagine that's what it's meaning to do. Okay. Defer, we need to do an exists on that. Or n2 is greater than the number 90. 65 minus the number of times 5 exists. Okay. Defer exists. 5 minus 5 is 5. Defer if exists of 3 and exists of 4. We're going to print the Unicode, which is a string. I have no idea if I need to do conversion on that. I can't tell. Equal to 0, print u of the number. Okay, that should be fine. Again of 8. Defer of 6 or 7. Sure. Defer exists of 1. And that. Sure. And we're going to defer if exists of 1. And you want to believe that this is going to work the first time? Because I don't. All right. In the playground. Of course you... I'm so sick of that. Load file rot13.ws, run. Of course. Oh yeah, because I don't have the mod operator. I believe my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 0. I think the close parentheses is here because it doesn't understand what the mod operator is. So let's back up and do that. Okay, so we're going to put in the compiler here. In the lexer, consider adding in the mod operator. Mod is going to be the same as essentially like this. Okay, so we're going to put it down here. Yes, I already know I have that as a case. %token. Okay. Generate that. Come into here. Put it in the right spot because of reasons. Okay, so now we're lexing it. Great. Now what? Now we got to parse it. It's going to be parsing a binary expression. It's not a unary, it is a binary. Now, does a mod operator have more precedence or less precedence? I am just going to go to the internet and say mod operator precedence. Relay presence file of many C-style languages are as follows. Same as multiplication. Okay. So that's the star token. And we will also say here then the case of percent token. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so now we do basically just parse it, which is fine. But we got to do a couple of other things. There is syntax facts. We could put in here too. Percent token, which is that. Okay. We also need something in here. Where is that? That is in, that's symbols. Oh, where is that? Is that in the binding somewhere? Bound binary expression? Bound operator kind? Yes, well we need this. Modulo. Okay. And then we need a bound binary operator kind. And the only way that this works is kind of like this. // we're going to need percent token, which is going to map to a modulo, and both of them have to be integer. And it's going to return an integer. Right? Right. Now, to evaluate it, we're going to need a evaluator. So this is where we just blast through and kind of say, oh yeah, sure. We're going to say modulo is going to be the big integer left, modulo, the big integer to the right, and Bob's your uncle. Let's run all the tests first. So, see, why does it take months to write C# features? I just did one in 5 minutes. Come on. Come on. It's not that hard. It's just syntax. Something's going to go wrong here. It has to. You're not showing me the test results now? Oh, we got more, and they all pass, so yay. Let's run this. All right, so we're going to say load file rot13.ws run. You're right. So we did that wrong. But look at that. Look at compiler errors. How lovely is that? Because what we really want to say here is, I guess, do an integer of the read minus the number of the times 2 exists. You know what? Before we run this, what does rot13 actually do? I know it's an encoding. I've never actually sat down and went, how do you do stuff? So if I said, hello, Jason, Yuri Wunfba. Come on, this is never gonna work. What happens if I just put in an H? So is this gonna do one character at a time? I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay, so we're going to say H. Boomy. It just all dies. But that's good. Fire. That's right. Yeah, that makes sense because we're trying to convert, duh. Simple letter substitution. That's where the 65 and all those other things are coming from. So, yeah. So what is this actually doing? If I go back to the original code. Let's actually go to this. Read minus the number, because that n, again, is just the number of the times line. It takes an integer. There's a number of times that line is in the current to-do list. Yes. Okay. So what did I do, by the way? Print in. Is that what I did here? Yeah, print in. Okay. I don't really know what they're trying to do here. They're saying line 2. Oh, well, you need a number there. So load file, rot 13 ws, run. So you need to put in a number. $66 is a plus. 85 is some other character we don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. None. If any of this actually makes sense. So, yeah, this could be completely bonkers. And I have no idea to know if it is or not. At least it's not crashing. So, I guess it would be nice if I actually had 2, for instance, 1 or it's printing the Unicode of whatever that is, the number of 2 and the number of 5 plus the number. Yeah, I can kind of see what it's trying to do here. But it's you know what, let's try this. What happens if I say 1 print the string of 23 mod 5, 4, 5, whatever. Run. Yeah, so that's 3. Yep, that makes sense. So it's doing, the mod is doing the right thing. I just don't, there's got to be a bug in my code here somewhere, and I will be insanely impressed if I can figure this out. And I can't, I don't know what this does. So I'm going to keep this in here and just say, oh well. I wonder if you can put comments. That would be quite strange if you could put comments in the dub sharp code. So, oh well. We tried. Actually, I'm not going to keep this around because I have no intention of actually well, this leads to an interesting question. Could I actually have comments in dub sharp code? And then you just simply don't even read them in. If a line starts with a // then you can just ignore it. And then if it had a / or a /* and a / later, then everything within it is just considered, it's like a big string, except you wait until that comes out like that. That's more than I really want to do. But I have nowhere else to put this comment other than here. I could put it in notes. So let's make a simple notes file here. Oh, of course you. rot13.ws was copied from if I ever get excited enough to do that, I will, but not now. I'm not going to keep that around. Simple program generator, I think I actually kept those here. Yes, I did. Okay, so those are actually done. So we're going to take that one out because I don't want it anymore. Okay. Okay. What are we doing on to-dos? Consider making this internal. I considered it. Should I? I don't know. This was a discussion that Imo had in some of his episodes, which is to talk about stuff internal, and then, you know, do you actually test the things directly if they're internal using the internals visible to? And that was actually, and still at this point does, it makes me think, because for the longest time I've always felt you never want to test your privates. Take that however you want. That was a 12-year-old coming out in me. You don't want to do anything with reflection to test private members in an assembly, even if it's one that you wrote. That's just way too risky, especially one that you don't own. That's that's even riskier still. So don't do that. That's a bad idea. If you're doing that, that's a big smell, and you need to stop doing that. Internals are kind of this, arguably gray area, where if you put in that internals visible to attribute, you can say this actually, I can let them see something that's marked as internal. But even is that a good idea? And I've always felt yes, and then Mo kind of said not really, sort of. And that's why I've had this here, is do I mark this internal even though the test assembly would still be able to see it? Okay. So I think I'm going to go with the advice of making it internal. Okay. Let's actually see what that does. Does that actually succeeds? I'm going to run all tests and see if we actually get a value here of how many tests actually succeeded. They all succeed. Let's just do a run quick here of, no, we don't. Yeah, let's do Fibonacci. Why not? And there we go, calculating these things. Harder and harder and harder to do. While that is running, there's something else I wanted to do in here, because I realized that there was a little bit of an optimization I can do in one spot. And then there's two things I want to do. First one here is the evaluator. I had in here value in line statements. Inline statement. Okay, now I have a ForEach here. What I want to do is say if actions should statement be deferred, break. Just completely break out of the for loop. Okay, because then you don't, if you had it, then you had three other statements there, you're still going to at least go through the for loop all those times. If the first statement said that you should defer it, then all the other ones, once you figured that out, just get out, because you don't need to keep that around. And now my fan is kicking in. All right, so that was one. The other one is in the actual playground with the REPL. I want to change these to false, because I'm getting to the point where it's actually not a good thing to see these. Okay, so if we run all these, we can now say load file. No, not that. Not that either. What we want is, well, we'll do that one. Okay. And then we'll say run. Perfect. We'll say this. So we'll say reset, load file, that, run, and off we go. Cool. All right. I think that was all the changes I really wanted to do. And I'm pretty happy with where we are right now. There might be some things I'm going to watch in the other videos that Emil's been doing. Just because every one he does, like if people have found bugs and stuff that he's written, sometimes it's affected what I did because I was actually following that part. So I need to change that. And also he does one episode where he's kind of changing the REPL so that these meta commands are actually handled in a much cleaner way. And I think I want to include that in what I'm doing. But with all that said, I think I'm at a point where I am pretty happy with stuff. So not that. This. And we're going to do some added modulo operator, more code, removed all remaining to-dos. Okay, so from this point on now, I think what I'm going to do is also, like if I put in the change for the meta commands, I'm actually going to do the branch, put it in a branch, submit it, put an issue out on GitHub, just to start being a little bit more formalized. Because I am at the point where, so let me actually, because this is all gone now, I don't need to, so we want to have add better structure for meta commands. Okay, and then one other one just went blazing through my head. Oh yeah, rename dub sharp playground to dub sharp interactive, or have dub sharp be a one-stop shop. In other words, maybe dub sharp takes a flag that says run interactive, and so instead of you compiling it, it just uses the REPL. Okay. So you go into that loop. So if you pass in a file, maybe what it does then is it loads the file, but it doesn't run it. So yeah, so those two I want to put in as issues now in GitHub, and then of course there is emit exe. Sweet. That's where we're really trying to go to. So I think I'm happy with this right now. I'm going to do this stuff off screen. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.